Okay, joining us right now, Dan Eberhart, CEO of Canary LLC, author of Switching Gears. Dan, I've been talking about this since the first executive order. The Democratic talking points are, well, we removed the XL pipeline, but it's only 11,000 jobs. Some of them were temporary, this, that, and the other thing. A closer look at it shows that there are 11,000 union jobs, but there are well over 30,000 jobs. And to me, it sure seems like with the executive order on illegal immigration, stopping deportations, we have 10 million people unemployed, and another 11 million people were just told, you guys could stay. Yeah. So that kind of dilutes the pool and probably ultimately, from a macro standpoint, lowers wages. And at the same time, he comes in and says he's eliminating the Keystone Pipeline and oil prices are rising. How dangerous is this virtue signaling as you talk about?
Well, I think this is ultimately extremely dangerous what Biden is doing. I think he is trying to placate the far left side of the party at the expense of consumers is what's going on here. But the people most hurt are going to be the people in the energy industry, and the construction unions are going to be the most hurt. But ultimately, he's hurting consumers by raising the cost of energy to try to placate the far left in his caucus. I've always thought that banning fracking, banning the Keystone XL pipeline, these were applause lines in a Democratic primary. It's very dangerous to implement this kind of policy because it ultimately is going to lead to higher gasoline prices, slightly higher plane ticket prices, and higher, stuff that has plastic, has oil in it, et cetera, et cetera. So, what he's doing here is hurting jobs in places like Pennsylvania, Texas, North Dakota. And we're ultimately just going to get the oil from the Middle East anyway if we don't produce it here. And it's really, going to hurt consumers. So to me, it's just a very dangerous game. And it shows a very knee-jerk reaction, what he's doing with the executive order, specifically with regards to energy right now.
27 executive orders in his first 7 days, which is pretty scary. But I talked about this a little earlier, and you hit on it right there. Plane tickets are going to go up from higher fuel prices, which will decrease travel and leisure and hospitality. And I cited this earlier, just in New York, 366,000 jobs lost in the leisure and hospitality sector. So everywhere you turn, the immediate effects of these executive orders look like jobs are going away from us and prices are going up. And that can't help the economy that was left to Joe Biden from Donald Trump.
Not at all. Look, the Biden administration is very much a pro-regulatory environment, and it's going to be at the expense of consumers, at the expense of the economy. And the economy is hopefully going to have to grow despite what Biden's doing, not because of it right now. I think that this country is sharply heading in the wrong direction now. And, I miss the policy coming out of the last 4 years a lot right now. Biden seems intent on making it harder for us to move forward in 2021.
I feel like, the institutions, I spent 30 years on Wall Street before becoming an amateur television guy, but I feel like institutions have been banking on gridlock between the Democrats, even with this 50-50 Senate. And you got guys like Manchin and this woman, Kirsten Sinema. That actually can help us here, right? That if the Democrats don't have that 50-50, that can cause gridlock to a lot of this progressive agenda.
Absolutely. Look, the 50-50 thing is really illusory because it's very easy for the Republicans to lose Susan Collins or Lisa Murkowski or Mitt Romney on something. It's very, very easy for the Democrats to lose Joe Manchin on energy, for instance. He's from a coal-producing state. He is not on board with the Green New Deal and a lot of this kind of stuff. I also think there's, the Arizona guys are going to be, very, very, hesitant on some of these immigration maneuvers. And a lot of people, there's 4 or 5 or 6 Democratic senators that may not go the way Chuck Schumer wants at any given point in time. So I think we've got some friends in there in the right places, in the right circumstances, not every time, for instance. But look, Joe Manchin is really right there in the line. I mean, he's the most important senator right now.
No doubt. I'm with you. Hey, thanks for joining us on short notice, Dan. I appreciate it. We got to have you back soon. Your insights are welcome and thoughtful. Thank you very much.
Hey, I appreciate having me on. Thank you.